Harold Park is gearing up for Australia's richest racing sprint, harness racing sprint, next Friday's Rich Miracle Mile. And last Friday, the park played host to the major lead-up races to the annual Classic. And to review that meeting and to give us his thoughts on Friday's big race, Adam Hamilton joins us live. Well, Adam, great to have you on the show again.
Yeah, good to be here, David, and very exciting times for harness racing at the moment. We had a magic night's racing at Harold Park. I think you'd equate it to perhaps the Derby day of Gallops racing, where there's so many lead-up races to the ultimate one. In Gallops, it's the Melbourne Cup. This time of year, it's the Miracle Mile for harness racing. Yeah, well, most interest centred on the two divisions of the Qantas Sprint on Friday night, but Michael Hunt virtually stole the show in the middle of those two sprints. He certainly did, in a race where the Qantas Sprints and the Ladyship Mile were expected to provide the finalist. It was interesting that Manaville came out and went brilliant time early on. He ran 1:55.5, and in a shock decision, he's been included into the race.
And as has Rainbow Knight, who won from the roughy Son of Pearl and the Kiwi late bid in the first division of the Qantas Sprint.
Yeah, Rainbow Knight, the race was pretty well in his keeping from the start when driver Lisa Justice, who won the Australian Pacing Championship aboard this horse and became the first female driver to do that. She drove through very quickly from barrier one, was able to hold the lead, and that pretty well sealed the race for her. The disappointment of the race, David, was a surprise package. The Boom Kiwi Raider, he had the lovely 1-1 trail. You can see him there sitting third, just ahead in front of the horse on the inside there. He had the lovely trail, but couldn't really accelerate at all in the home straight. All honours with Rainbow Knight. Lisa Justice said after the race that at no stage did she even have to pull the whip on the horse, so he's racing in tremendous form, but the barrier draw's been very cruel to him in the Miracle Mile. We'll get around to that later on, but great credit to trainer Darren Binskin and Lisa Justice with Rainbow Knight. Let's pick up the call.
Late bids trying to pick him up. Son of Pearl can't get out. Surprise package further out. Rainbow Knight the leader from late bid. Surprise package. Son of Pearl back to the inside, but Rainbow Knight's got them shot to pieces here. Rainbow Knight drawing away from Son of Pearl, and he's beaten them well. Rainbow Knight from Son of...
Well, it's going to be a terrific night, Adam, for the women out there. Lisa Justice and Kelly Kersley both driving in the Miracle Mile.
Yeah, they're the two glamour girls of harness racing. They've achieved so much in matching it with the boys and serving it up to them on so many occasions. But Kelly, of course, became the first female to win a Grand Circuit race with Norm's daughter. That's going back to June this year. That was a race postponed from last November.
Now, Adam, explain this to me. Al Savancelot, the even money favourite, finished first in the second division of the Qantas Sprint, and young Mr. Charles, the Kiwi, finished in third place, but both missed a start in Friday night's big one. They've both been named as first and second reserve, respectively.
Yeah, David, look, one of the most baffling decisions in harness racing for a long time. For Manaville, a horse who won a restricted class race, albeit he did equal a track record, or set a track record at the time that was later equalled by Norm's daughter, for him to be included in the race, a 7-year-old racing in restricted class ahead of Our Sir Vancelot. He's racing behind the leader here, Our Sir Vancelot. The leader is young Mr. Charles. Look for the genius of Brian Hancock here. He gets a superb rails run in the home straight to steal the prize, and he's pretty happy too. You can have a look at him lean over and give a bit of curry to the other drivers just after the line when we get to that stage. But David, I've got to label it a mystifying and very disappointing decision that Our Sir Vancelot's missed out. He would have been one of the favourites in the race, and for Harold Park officials to try and justify putting Manaville in ahead of him is, well, basically impossible. Have a look at Brian Hancock here. Superb drive on Our Sir Vancelot. There's the run on the rails.
On the outside, Tibet's grabbed him with Island Glow, and now the run for Our Sir Vancelot. Our Sir Vancelot right along the inside, got there to win, and a great finish. Our Sir Vancelot, a B. Hancock mark.
Yes, Our Sir Vancelot and young Mr. Charles finishing first and third, but first and second reserves, respectively. Well, Kelly Kersley had to sit in the stands and watch Norm's daughter, the defending Miracle Mile champion, go round. But Norm's daughter overcame the wide barrier to score very, very handsomely, and also equalled that course record that was set earlier in the night by Manaville.
Yeah, interestingly enough too, that she also went a 1/10 of a second quicker than she did to win the Miracle Mile, beating Il Vicolo back in June. She's right on song for this race. She'd obviously had a checkered lead-up going into this. She was very sick back in July. She's got over that. This was only her second run back from a spell. Kersley's older brother, Greg Kersley, took the drive here, and an excellent display. It's David, it's the first time that Greg's ever sat behind the horse, be it in a race, a trial, even a track workout. So
And
the
denied
pressure on
Sableye a bit of history in this race.
Yeah, Sableye's going for 3 wins in a row. Would have been the first mare to do it. That's Sableye's sitting on the back of Norm's Daughter here. Greg Kersley goes for home, and at this point it looked as though it was going to be a comfortable win for Norm's Daughter. But Sableye's, as we pointed out last week, she is in foal, and she seems to be racing better than ever now. She's relishing the thought of being a mother, and have a look at her rally strongly.
Daughter's in front, Sableye's driving it near the line, but she's too good, the West Aussie mare. Norm's Daughter again. Norm's Daughter wins from Sableye's, 3 lengths away.
And to top it off, drew a very favourable barrier. Barrier 1 for the big Miracle Mile Friday night.
Yeah, certainly 1,760 metres this race, $400,000, including the speed incentives up for grabs. I'll take you through that barrier draw. As you said, Norm's Daughter has drawn 1. In 2, we've got Iroquois, who had a look around Harold Park on Friday night, and a lot of the experts there were very impressed by what they saw. He's a magnificent individual, and he is the favourite. Barrier 3, Sableye's. Barrier 4, we have Il Vocolo. In gate 5, we have Manaville. And Manaville, the dark horse, the wild card in the race. And barrier 6, Rainbow Night, so a tragic draw there. Emergencies, number 7, Our Sir Vanslot, and number 8, Young Mr. Charles. The betting has Iroquois favourite at 7-4. Sight unseen, really, under race conditions in Australia, but he is favourite at 7-4, ahead of Norm's Daughter at 9-4, and Il Vocolo equal on the second line at 9-4. No surprises here, David. Manaville, the shock inclusion, 33-1 outsider. And $400,000 up for grabs on Friday night. Certainly is, yeah. The speed incentives are tremendous for this race, and I think there's no doubt that 155 that we saw Norm's Daughter and Manaville share on Friday night will be betted. I'm tipping Norm's Daughter. I think she can make it 2 in a row and put her name in history as the only horse to win the 2 Miracle Miles in the 1 year. Adam, have a safe flight up to Sydney from Melbourne next Friday. We look forward to your company in the studio here next Sunday morning. It'll be a pleasant change, David. I've been around Australia, but yet to be in the studio. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we're looking forward to that too. Adam Hamilton will join us to recap on the big race. Friday night, Harold Park, $400,000, 6 at the top to go around in that invitation race. But now waiting anxiously at the sports desk, it's a very good morning once again to Kylie Gillies.
Yes, hello again. We start with cricket and the